The room fell silent the moment the general entered. Boots polished to a mirror shine struck the marble floor with authority. Medals rested heavy on his chest, not as decoration, but as memories, some glorious, some haunting. Around the long table sat officers, advisors, analysts, men and women with titles longer than their attention spans. Screens glowed with maps, data projections. The air smelled like power and impatience. This was a high-level briefing. No mistakes, no delays, no surprises. The general did not sit. He stood at the head of the table, hands clasped behind his back, eyes scanning the room, not to admire, but to assess. He had commanded troops in chaos, issued orders under fire, and watched lives depend on seconds. He knew something these people had forgotten. Rank does not guarantee readiness. He cleared his throat, then he barked a command. Not loud, not angry, but sharp, precise. A command so old, so coded, so specific that it didn't belong in this room anymore. The officers froze. One man blinked. Another glanced sideways, waiting for someone else to react. A colonel frowned, unsure whether to ask for clarification. A young analyst quickly checked her tablet, as if the answer might be hidden in a spreadsheet. Nothing happened. No movement. No response. No understanding. The silence stretched, thick, uncomfortable, humiliating. The general's eyes narrowed, not in rage, but in disappointment. This command was basic, foundational, burned into the bones of anyone who had truly lived the discipline, not just studied it. It was not something you learned from slides. It was something trained into muscle memory. And no one moved, except one person. At the far end of the room, almost invisible, stood a woman holding a mop, the cleaning lady. She had been there long before the meeting started. She always was. Quiet, unnoticed, head down, doing work no one thanked her for. Her uniform was plain, her shoes worn, her presence dismissed as background noise, until the command was spoken. The moment the words left the general's mouth, her body reacted before her mind could argue. She snapped to attention, spine straight, feet aligned, eyes forward, hands still, perfect form. The mop clattered softly to the floor. Every head in the room turned. Shock rippled across the table. Confusion, embarrassment. A few forced laughs tried, and failed, to break the tension. The general slowly turned toward her. He studied her the same way he studied battlefields. Then he smiled. Not a polite smile, a knowing one. "Where did you learn that?" he asked. The room held its breath. She swallowed. "Sir," she said, voice steady but quiet, "my father taught me. And the army finished the lesson." The general nodded once. The silence now was different. Respect had entered the room. She explained, not proudly, not dramatically, but honestly. Years ago she had served, not in comfort, not in glory. She had trained under commanders who believed discipline was love and repetition was survival. She had learned commands that saved lives, commands that were never written down because they were expected to be known. Life had moved on. Injuries, family responsibilities, choices that didn't look heroic on paper. She cleaned offices now, floors, corners, the unseen spaces. But the training never left her, because real discipline does not expire. The general turned back to the table. "Did you see that?" he asked. No one answered. "You all heard the same command," he continued. "Same words, same tone, same moment." He paused. "Only one of you was ready." The words landed like a verdict. He gestured toward the woman. "Readiness is not about rank," he said. "It's about remembrance. About what you respect enough to keep alive inside you." The officers shifted uncomfortably. Titles suddenly felt lighter, chairs less secure. The general continued. "Some of you have forgotten why you're here. You've memorized procedures but lost posture. You understand policy but not instinct. You can explain leadership, but you can't respond when it speaks." His eyes softened slightly. "This woman didn't hear words," he said. "She heard responsibility." The cleaning lady stood frozen, unsure whether she should relax or remain still. Years of conditioning told her wait for dismissal. The general noticed. "At ease," he said gently. She exhaled, and in that moment, something shifted, not just in her, but in everyone watching. Because the room realized something uncomfortable and undeniable. Competence does not always sit at the table. Respect does not always wear medals. Greatness often works quietly, unnoticed, until truth demands a response. The general dismissed the meeting early. As people filed out, avoiding eye contact, the woman bent to pick up her mop. But before she could move, the general stopped her. "Thank you," he said. "Not for cleaning, for reminding." That day became a story whispered through corridors. Not because a cleaning lady snapped to attention, but because an entire room realized how unprepared it was. And here is the truth this story leaves us with. Life will bark commands when you least expect it. In moments of crisis. In moments of opportunity. In moments when no one explains what to do next. And in those moments, titles won't save you. Education won't save you. Excuses won't save you. Only what you have trained yourself to become will respond. Some people look important but freeze under pressure. Others look invisible, but carry readiness in their bones. Never underestimate who someone is just because of where you see them standing today. And never forget who you were trained to be, no matter where life places you. Because one day, when the command comes, the world will see who was truly paying attention.